right, let's welcome in Cowboys COO Stephen Jones here into the GBAG Nation. Stephen, thank you for your patience. How are you, sir? You fired up for this matchup against the Eagles?
Challenge, obviously playing the world champions and a team that's playing as well as anyone this year. It's going to be a challenge, but it's one that we welcome, and we're just fired up that it's going to be at AT&T Stadium, and I think our fans will be fired up, and we got to go out there and execute and do things that we can get that place loud and have some energy, and so we can pull this game out.
Well, Stephen, you told us a few weeks back you think this defense can be damn good. And, sir, they looked damn good on Monday night. That Quinnen Williams edition, Savone Ravel in his first game, he got overshown back. I mean, what going into this one, how more excited are you about the way this defense can possibly be playing?
Yeah, I just think, the good news, too, is a lot, about half that defense hadn't played together and at all, and some of them, and then some of them haven't been out there for 4 and 5 weeks. But then you have Revel and Overshone and Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson. That's a big number of guys who were making plays out there that we hadn't had out there. But the good news is I think the air should be up, that they should only get better as they play together more. And I really think we're starting to find an identity. The guys felt like on tape they were playing fast and confident and with energy, and that's how you play good defense. And hopefully that's a step, and obviously we got to continue to get better. And then flip side of that, the offense I thought really stepped up and really had a great game, and played to the level that we think they can be. And we just got to continue to put these things together and do them on a week-to-week basis, and be more consistent as we move forward.
Yeah, you talk about the young guys defensively, guys like Revel and even Kalen Carson now in year 2. What did you see from those guys on Monday night?
Yeah, I just see some young guys who were hungry to play. I think Carson in particular is really healthy for the first time, and you could feel it in his confidence. I think those two are feeding off one another. They know they're young guys in this league, but yet you can see them, working together on iPads and practice and, communicating. And, that's another thing. I think having our 2 safeties back there as well was just outstanding for the whole defense. I think between Hooker and Dono and having their consistency back there and their confidence and what they're calling and on the back end, I think went a long ways. But I do think, we can continue to get better. We have to get better because obviously we put ourselves behind the 8 ball, in the first half of the season with our start. But, it starts one game at a time. It starts against Philly, and couldn't think of a better way, to get it going than for us to go out and play well and figure out how to get a win against a really good football team in front of our home crowd.
Stephen, Kevin Hagelin of the Midday Show asked Jerry a question about Diggs, and he asked it in the way of what his expectations were for Diggs as a player, potentially coming back. Not this week, maybe not even Kansas City because of the short week. But I just wanted to know what your expectations were. Jerry's always really super honest about his assessment. There's always appreciate that about him. But I just wondered what you thought about Diggs coming back when he has that opportunity.
Yeah, I think it'll be full body of work. He's obviously putting in the work right now, but as we go week to week here, we want to see that he can be consistent week in and week out. I feel 100%. He plays his best when he's able to get out there and practice all week. And, he doesn't play as well when, he's limited in practice and doesn't get the reps. So, we just need to see consistency out of him week in and week out because when he does go out there and get the work and put the work in and do it, then, he plays well. And obviously we all know he can be an elite player when he's playing at the top of his game. So, it's probably too early to tell exactly what the expectations should be other than the expectation is, for him to get back and help us win and for him to play at the level he expects himself to play at, he's going to have to be consistent week in and week out.
Stephen Jones with us here on 105.3 The Fan. Dak is on the verge of becoming the all-time passing yards leader in Cowboys history. CeeDee Lamb said he thinks this thing's going to be broken in the first quarter at AT&T Stadium on Sunday. Do you have anything planned for when that moment happens?
Not really. I don't think so. I don't think that's Dak's style. Certainly, we'll have our exchange with him after the game or whenever it happens. But, Dak's about team first. I mean, certainly it's an unbelievable accomplishment of what he's done when you think of the quarterbacks that have played here from Roger Staubach to Don Meredith to Tony Romo, Troy Aikman. What a great group of men. I was fortunate enough to have lunch with Roger yesterday, and he's more fired up about Dak and the Cowboys than he's ever been. But, it's just, like I said, a major accomplishment. But I can tell you what Dak wants to focus on is winning football games, and it all starts Sunday.
Stephen, a lot of fans were asking me the question about with Jaydon Blue, and I would guess that maybe Malik Davis would be a priority to get on the roster and make some kind of move that way. But kind of just where have things gone? I'm not going to say wrong, but where's it been difficult for Jaydon Blue to be a guy that's dressing with you every week?
I think the biggest thing is just the consistency week in and week out. Him getting his hands around what it takes to be a pro week in and week out and get it done. He obviously, we've all seen flashes at times, the things that you want to see. But he's still a young player, and in this league, sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes a little time to progress, and I think Jaydon Blue's future is very bright here. He has some real skill sets that aren't common in most backs, and with his burst and elite speed and some of the things that he can do. So, right now Javante's having a hell of a year, and hard for anybody else to get in a great rhythm because Javante's getting most of the carries, but Malik has shown, that he can come in there and, when he gets the, 5 to 10 touches he might get, that they'll be productive and he'll be efficient.
Stephen, it seems it's very difficult for Jonathan Mingo to get on the field for you, and I know how coaches operate with they get comfortable with guys, and you guys don't want to do anything to rock the boat with the guys you got. But do you have a thought about Jonathan Mingo, and is that just the case? The coaches are comfortable playing with the guys they got right now?
Well, they think a lot of Jonathan. You nailed it here, Brian. I mean, obviously. The first three guys, when you put Turp in that mix, have got really something juicy that they bring to the table, and have plays designed around them. Flournoy has really stepped up and taken on that number 4 spot, and then of course JT and Mingo are battling, for that 5th spot on game day, and JT's been a productive guy in this league, and Mingo's doing, all the things the right way. It's just, picking the right time where we give him his opportunity. A lot of times that happens naturally with an injury, but, he's got a skill set and a body type that are, certainly, unique in terms of his size and his ability to run and the things that he can do, in the running game as well. He's a physical player. At the point when he's out there blocking. So there's a lot of things he can do well, and he'll get his chance.
Sticking with wide receiver, George Pickens was asked yesterday about his future. He said he'd love to be back with the team after this season. What are your feelings on that? And there's a report that the tag might be where you're leaning with George. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we're worried about game to game right now, but the biggest thing is anyone who turns on our tape and watches You gotta. Of course, we want George Pickens back, and I think that watching him and CD and Dak and them executing the passing game is, it's what it's all about when it comes to having an offensive football team that can be explosive, moving the ball, entertaining, making big plays. That's. You'd be crazy not to want to have him back and be a part of this thing.
How'd you like Shotty's approach to the discipline on Monday night for Lamb and Pickens?
Yeah, I think it just goes. He's not going to play favorites with anybody, and he felt very strongly that that was part of it, and I think a lot of people thought, well, they had to be together because they are great friends. Yeah. But believe it or not, one was the night before leading into the morning, and the other one was missing the buses. So, hats off to Shotty for being consistent, being authentic, being genuine, and doing the right thing by the team. And they did what you would expect them to do, both of them, as they went out and played one hell of a game. Maybe we should have sent the whole team with whatever they were doing.
I was going to, Stephen, I know you get a beautiful bus that you drive around there. We see at the Combine all the time. I'd be happy to take the lads around, and if it means everybody lighting people up like that.
We might send the whole group.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Last one I wanted to sneak in here for you, Steve, before we let you out of here, but being part of the competition committee, the tush push is something that we're always talking about, and being the Eagles week, to me, it just seems like it's such a difficult play to officiate consistently. What are your thoughts on the tush push, and do you think that maybe this is the last year we're going to see it?
Yeah, I mean, I know we'll address it. Certainly, there weren't the votes weren't there to move away from the play last year. It was close, but they weren't there. It's a little difficult for me because a lot of people are going to think I'm against it because we got to play them twice a year, and they're very good at executing that particular play. So it's difficult. It's just what, in my opinion, it's is it a good play for our game? And there is no injury data in terms of that would say, hey, it's a dangerous play. It's more of just, is it an entertaining play? And there's a lot of people who don't think, who don't feel that way. But then there's enough votes out there that it stayed alive. I know we'll probably look at it again, see how where we could be better officiating it, and is it something that we still want to have in the game? We'll make that call.
Stephen, my final thing for you, have you ever seen a punt after a safety for an onside kick? Have you ever seen that happen? And is that something that you guys, as a competition rules committee, have you talked about stuff like that?
We have it. I'm actually looking forward to it, I assume, and shame on me, I haven't called up to our group to ask, but I assume our deal right there should have been a fair catch.
A fair catch, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I think that's the rule, that our guys could have gone up there and fair caught, the punt that he's, obviously bombed it real high in the air. And
sure.
I think it caught us, be candid, I think it caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah, for sure.
Then you had a unique guy in George Pickens who just snatched it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it was one hell of a grab by him. But, as I sit right here, I would say the play should have been to call a fair catch and catch it like a punt.
Right.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for the time, as always, and let's go get that win on Sunday.
Sounds great, guys. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Great to be on.